Hello again, everybody. This is Colonel Mr. Everything from the 1st Royal Aerospace Squadron. This is a video for the unit to kind of get us started thinking how we want to organize our squadron. And it's also going to talk about what we're going to do with our old website and the new website. Okay, and how these are going to translate over to each other, basically. All right, now this should be a pretty quick video, pretty short. I just wanted to put some information out. You can kind of consider this kind of like a squadron update of what's going on in the unit. I want to talk about the website. Right now, as this video is being filmed, the Robert Space Industries website is not fully functional for organizations. It's about 50%, okay? Until it becomes fully functional, and then only if it becomes fully functional with all the tools we needed to have, will we close the engine site. Okay, we're going to keep the engine site up and running. Right now, that is our primary single website you want to go to. You want to go to the engine website. You want to peruse the forums and get to know the guys. Come on TeamSpeak, talk to us a little bit. Unfortunately, right now, the majority of the guys, me included, are playing another game. Okay, and so you'll see us on that TeamSpeak playing that other game. We're not there to talk Star Citizen. But if you wanted to pull me off to the side and ask me something about Star Citizen or something like that, you're more than welcome to do that. But that's not right now what's going on. When the dogfighting module comes out, yeah, we'll be on there playing Star Citizen, dogfighting, and we'll be doing all kinds of stuff. There'll be a group over here playing the other game, and then there'll be us down there playing Star Citizen, and some of us will be playing both games. Okay, no problem. That's just understanding what the team speaks about. There's also a few other games on there. The first-person shooters are on there too. We are more of a gaming community, really. Okay, on that TeamSpeak. That TeamSpeak might not be with us forever. We might have to move to a different TeamSpeak server. But currently, right now, we're staying on that TeamSpeak server, and it's serving us fine. Okay, both the other unit, our parent unit, and the 1st Royal Aerospace Squadron. Okay. Okay, I think I got sidetracked with TeamSpeak. Now, when we're talking about our engine website, okay, that's the wrong one. That's this one I'm on right now. Okay, let's go to the engine website. Okay, this is our engine website, the 1st Royal Aerospace Squadron, and you can stop that. Okay, we have we got some people on right now that are in the TeamSpeak, and this is where you would go to find our forums. You'd find the gallery for pictures, calendar. You know, we have our TeamSpeak information, a star map. We have a whole lot of things. It looks like I've got 5 people requesting to be accepted into the unit. I'll get to that after the video. Basically, we have an awesome little website right here, and the address, as you can see, is 1ras.engine.com. okay, and that's where you would go to visit our main website. The other website, this Royal on Robert Space Industries, that is our recruiting / organization site on the RSI page. Now, my understanding is, okay, it's already taken me 4 minutes to tell you this. My understanding is that we're going to open up a couple more pages on this site, but it might take months. We don't know how long it's going to take, and until then, we're going to be using the engine site. Okay, if and only if this site can do as much as the engine site, if it can do that, then I'll just close the engine site and we'll go here exclusively. But if it lacks some features, then we'll have to share time with both. And I'm really only using this as kind of a advertisement. It posts us, it tells everybody where we're at, and it allows them to join us and then find out more about us. It gives us a little chat, and that's about it. Okay, but when it does if it does open up a chart where we can place people in squads and organizations and segment them into departments and things like that, then that's what I'll do. But until then, we're not doing that. And then the fleet view, if that gives us a forum and a calendar and a gallery and a few other features that the engine site gives us, like a blog site, or a place to for me to type up some text boxes or something, like a message of the day, like some games have. If it does that, then this site will be it. But if it doesn't, then we're going to stay on engine. I think I've said that about 100 times. Okay, great. That's just to let you guys know what's going on. Now, let's get to the other half of this video. The other half of this video is talking about how the squadron is organized. Okay, now I have a presentation that I would like to show, and let me get my big head out of the way. I could probably shrink myself a little bit just to get you guys a better view. Okay. Well, I disappear when I do that, huh? Okay, cool. I don't even know if you see me, and it doesn't really matter if you see me or not. Hopefully you can see my mouse pointer. Okay, this is hypothetical. This is not exactly what our squadron looks like. This is just to give you a general idea of how it will be organized, and I'll talk about each aspect of it as we go. This is also not a finished product. This is not by any means limited to what I'm showing you here. This is just to get you in the general direction, in the general idea of how it's going to go. Okay, you're going to have the 1st Royal Aerospace Squadron. Duh, that's us, okay? And then we have the squadron headquarters or administration. Okay, I could put that in the same box. Technically, this is the same element. Okay, that would be basically myself and my most senior officers, like the XO, and I might have like an administrative officer, someone who runs paperwork, you know, background, back end, like organizes events and basically an organizer, someone who organizes events or organizes competitions, gets the unit together at certain times in certain places, coordinates. We might even, if depending on how big our mercantile group gets, it might be needed to organize placement of our troops, like coming up with contracts and approving those, basically. Okay, so basically it's basically an administrative group, and that could be done by just a couple of people, or it could be done by a handful of people. That we'll have to figure out as we go. Now I broke, and as you can see, this next level of the squadron is the groups. The groups are basically department heads or departments. We might have a fighter group that would be full of fighters. Then we're going to have a bomber group, which is full of bombers. And there's nothing saying that the bomber group can't have also 2 wings also, because the fighter group just has 2 wings right here. But that doesn't mean the fighter group can't have 3 wings or 4 wings. If it starts to get more than 4 wings in a group, we're going to have a second group. Okay, so there might be fighter group 1 and fighter group 2. But right now, this is just to get you going. So we have a fighter group, a bomber group, an exploration group. Okay, these are guys that are playing pretty much solo, or they've got a crew on a smaller vessel, and they've gone out and they're doing exploration for the unit. They're out there trying to find basically anything that would be deemed as valuable information, basically information gathering. Okay, exploration of the enemy, or exploration for colonization, or just exploration just to earn money for the unit. You know, that's just find jump points or find out where enemy, you know, and I can go on and on and on, but that's exploration. Okay, and then some people will be 100% dedicated to doing that. Okay, that's great, and they'll be in the exploration group. Then there's others that will be dedicated to mercantile activities. Okay, they're guys that are going to be wanting to take their ships and their crew, and they're going to go from point A to point B, earning money. Okay, they're going to be building up money. Now, I want to let you know that Chris has said that I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to set a tax, okay, and you guys are going to get taxed. Unfortunately, that's the way guilds work in most MMOs, is that there's a small tax, you know, somewhere between 5 and 100%. you know. And what happens is when you run out and you do a mission, let's say you do a mission, I don't know, let's say you carry cargo from point A to point B, and then you get paid, let's say 1,000 UEC, okay, United Earth credits. Let's say that's what you get, right? And our unit, let's say, just hypothetically, says we got a 10% tax. Okay, well, that means 10% of 1,000 that you've earned goes into the squadron's bank account. And so we get 100 credits, and then you would get 900 credits. Okay, and that is the way taxes almost always work in every game. Now, if it is in addition to what you earn, then every single squadron out there is going to have it at 100%, because you'll get your 1,000 and then we'd get our 1,000. But that's just not the way it's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be a percentage, and you will lose that and we will gain that. Now, don't look at it as like losing it. You can look at it like it's a due. You're paying your dues to the unit. The unit will become stronger. It will get better. There are certain things that only the squadrons can buy and purchase and acquire, and we will use that money that we've tithed off of you. I'll have to pay it. You know, it'll whatever the tax rate is, everyone's gonna have to pay it. It does not matter. If you're a trooper, you'll pay it. If you're the colonel, you're gonna have to pay it. Okay. Now, I'll tell you right now, it's not gonna be low. It's gonna be high. If you have a problem with a high tax, you need to leave the unit. Okay. Goodbye. That's just the way it is. Now, when I say high, I'm saying 20 to 25%. Okay. If the system does not allow us to go that high, if it says like 15% is the maximum, well, then that's where we're going. If it says 100% is the maximum, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it at 20, probably 20. I'm looking at 20, but it might be 25, just depending on how much money you can earn on certain missions are. And the reason why that is we're a fresh starting out unit. It needs the tithes. Okay, when we get to like 100 members, I can back that down a little bit. When we get to a lot of members, I can bring that down to like 20%, 15%. And when we get 1,000 members, I'm just saying this, if we had 1,000 members and we could get 1,000 members, then it might only be 5%. You know, and that way the unit will stay alive. It will have a large sum. And now what that means is that SHQ administration, somebody up there is going to have to be an administrator of a treasurer, if you would, a treasurer for that money, and be able to allocate a certain amount for, I don't know, weapons and ammunition and stuff like that our unit can use. Okay. Now remember, this is hypothetical, and this is by no means a finalized product. This is just me spitballing here and kind of letting you know the way the unit is going. Okay? All right, great. Now, there's going to be more than just the fighter group, the bomber group, the exploration group, and the mercantile group. We're probably going to have a group of, they would be part of the mercantile group, I suppose. Anybody that wants to like establish a ground base business venture, like maybe a factory that creates missiles, that wants to sell these missiles for a price or whatever, and then our merchants can go out there and ship them out and deliver them. But whoever actually owns that, he'd still be part of the mercantile group, and that mercantile group would work together to communicate like what to ship where and how to get it there. And they will also communicate with our fighter group and our bomber groups to either serve as their wingmen, to escort them and protect them, because we don't want any of our merchants getting shot out of the sky. So it would be pretty bad if we have a unit full of Hornets and we send a freelancer out all by himself into hostile territory to let him get killed. That's just being silly. So of course we're gonna have a Hornet or two with him to make sure that happens. And depending on how large the group gets, we might have a convoy of merchant ships, and then permanently assigned to them, we might have a certain group of fighters. You know, like Hornet Group 1 would be with Mercantile Group 1. So no matter where they go, the the Hornets or the fighter group will always be with them, or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We haven't got that far. When it comes to the bomber group, now I'm looking at the bombers as really cool and everything, but what kind of effect or use do they have as a guild in a game like this? Well, if we are attacking or requiring to attack a fixed structure like a base or a mining outpost or something like that, an asteroid base or mining outpost, then yeah, we're going to, or another clan's base, you know, who knows, we might be doing that. They might be a syndicate and we are going to go in and take them out because we're that kind of unit, we're the good guys. So we might bring in some gladiators in that case, but majority of the time, what are they going to really be doing? They're going to be sitting in your hangars. They're not really going to be active. You're not going to be playing them all the time. Now I'll probably be playing my Retaliator almost all the time, to be honest with you. But I'm going to refit it so that I can carry cargo, you know, or passengers actually. And that's me. It's not really a fighter. It's not a fighter. It's kind of like a heavily gunned Constellation, in my opinion. So that's. The cargo might be a little bit less, but that's okay. I'm not trying to be a cargo hold guy. I'm thinking about passengers, honestly. Okay. And I think it looks dead sexy. All right. So what was I talking about? Yes. The crews. This is the last point. I think that the previous point I said was the last point. Well, I lied. This is the last point. And it looks like this video is going to go for about 20-25 minutes. So just bear with me. There we go. Imagine... Okay, look, just in this example, okay, I've got a Retaliator, right? And then Joe Blow here, he's got a Constellation, another guy's got a Constellation, another guy's got a Freelancer. Okay, these are Gladiators too. But let's just say that I'm out flying the space lanes, or not even flying the space lanes. We're all getting ready to go on a major raid, and these are the ships that we're going to take. Hypothetically, okay, think about this. These are the ships we're going to take, and we're going to go on a raid. We're going to do the Operation Pitchfork or something like that, and we're going into Vandal space, and we're going to blow stuff up, right? Okay. Having said that, we've got people that don't have ships, right? Okay. At the time this game is released, I bet you everyone will have a ship. They're either going to play through Squadron 42 and they're going to earn a ship, or they're going to build up enough money where they could buy a ship in-game, or they're going to have pledged by then. So I suspect that by the time the game actually gets going full and we're all in the persistent universe, every single player in our unit will have a ship. Okay, and every single player will bring his ship. That's just the way that's going to be. But now listen, I need a crew, right? So do these Constellations, and so do these Freelancers. I think our best bet at that point would be for the unit to pitch in and buy you a crew. Okay, and so you want the best of the best guys that we can acquire to be on your ship. The best gunners, or the best engineers, or the best co-pilots, or the best electronic warfare guys, or the best, you know, radar guys, whatever. Whatever we find, or whoever we find, we're going to... Now, you might have to... I don't know how the mechanics of the game is going to work, but you are probably going to have to hire these pilots, or these guys to be in your ship, these crew members. So... just because our squadron looks like this, let's say, that doesn't mean we don't have 4 times this many guys in our squadron. Because I have a Retaliator, and it's a crew of what, 6, something like that. I'm gonna have 5 guys with me. They're gonna be my tag along crew or whatever. My Retaliator is gonna be full of NPCs. Okay, and if you want to fly with me and you want to be in my ship, cool, you can. But if you want to bring your Retaliator, or not your Retaliator, if you want to bring your Hornet and fly next to me, that's even better, because now we've got 2 ships instead of just my 1 ship. I strongly believe, or strongly encourage people to consider that. Not encourage you to consider, that's not what I really mean. Think about it. That's the plan. It's called a force multiplier. If every one of us could bring 4 extra guys with us, we're going to have 5 times as many people, right? So Now, are those crew going to be as good as a player? Probably not, okay? But let's say we only have 5 people in the clan, the group, the guild, the unit, okay? There's only 5 guys, 5 of us, right? We're online. I'm logged in, okay? There's 5 of us logged in. We say, hey, let's go blow up this base over here. And let's go dogfight these pirate base or something, okay? Okay, great. That's awesome. Okay, let's do it. Let's go give it to them, right? Are we all going to pile in my Retaliator and fly over there with one ship when we have the capability of flying the Retaliator full of NPC crew and 4 other fighters or 4 other constellations or whatever? That's the better way to do it. Okay, so you have your own constellation. I have my own Retaliator. My gunner sucks, but I don't care because I got 5 of them. Okay, so and I'll control the main gun that shoots out the front. So, and same thing with your constellation. You know, so your 2 turret gunners can't hit a side of a barn. So what? You know, it's better than having just one constellation with 4 guys on it. It's better to have a constellation with 3 other guys flying your wing. Okay, so the point I'm trying to say is, even though yes, I can get on your ship and walk around and do things, each one of you is a ship captain. Every single one of you is going to own and operate your own vessel. That's pretty much the way it's going to be. And if you want to fly in my Retaliator, let's say your fighter gets blown up and you don't have insurance on it, and you need something to do, and you want to be my gunner, more power to you. Come on. But I have a pretty good idea that everybody's going to have their own ship. Okay. And that's the way it should be. Everybody's going to fly their own thing. Yeah, we're going to fly together. We're going to perform missions. We're going to do things as a party and as a team, but we're not going to necessarily be inside the same ship. Okay. The only time that might really be important is when we're doing boarding actions, like we're trying to take over a capital ship or something like that. And because I'll tell you right now, I've always thought that a player-controlled character in a first-person shooter scenario is 100 times better than an NPC run, guys. But we're gonna have to check them out. We're gonna check out these NPCs, see if they're any good. If they're no good, then they're no good. But if they're good, then cool. We'll have like 50. I'll hire 100 of them and pack them into my Retaliator. You know, I'll have one guy in the wheel well just so that he can board. But that's what I'm saying. So we'll fly in, we'll unload all the PCs, the players, you know, with their guns or whatever, and they're going to take over the ship, and then they'll be able to fly it. The NPCs might tag along as a few extra guys, you know, that's always, you know, fodder or whatever. But the problem with that is when they die, you got to go rehire them, you know. But when a PC dies, he just shows up at the hospital. Now remember, if you die too many times, then you'll be permanently dead. So, you know, got to watch out. Don't get killed. Okay, okay, getting off track. Everybody's going to be your own ship captain. Everybody's going to have their own crew, okay? You're going to have NPC crew, and that's the way to go. It is the way to go. And then we'll all have our own ships, and so this way we'll maximize the number of guns that we can put into an instance, okay? We're going to divide into groups. Now, who leads these groups? That's yet to be determined. Who each has their own wing? That's left to be determined. We do not know that right now, right? If you feel that you want to get into the mercantile group or the exploration group or a bomber group or the fighter group, you want to be in a wing, just kind of I'm going to start a kind of a threaded forum somewhere so that you can kind of voice your opinions on where everybody wants to go. But I'm going to tell you right now, everyone is pretty much going to stay a trooper until we get through the dogfighting module. Until we get into the dogfighting module and I can see, you know, how we all interact and talk and interact and play with each other and how we all get along and stuff like that. I am not giving anybody any rank. You are all going to stay a trooper. Don't worry about it. You know, that's temporary. If you have your own ship, okay, every point I have is the last point until the next one, right? In the game organization chart, it only has like 5 or maybe 6 ranks, and that's it, just 6. So you got like 0 stars, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. Okay, so that's 6. Okay, so we have a lot more ranks than that in our unit. We have trooper, gunnery sergeant. Well, let's back up. Trooper, corporal, gunnery sergeant, lance corporal, lance sergeant, I think. We have Marine sergeant, we have sergeant major. Those are just the enlisted ranks. And then we've got lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, and that's where it's stopping. Okay, and we got 6 there. I mean, it goes up a little higher in the Marine chain. You got generals and stuff like that, but that's beyond the scope of our squadron. Our squadron is just a colonel type squadron. Okay, okay. So the colonel and the lieutenant colonel would be the CO and the XO. Got it. Okay. The groups would all probably be majors. Okay, the groups are in majors. The wing leaders, or maybe captains. I'm thinking maybe captains. Okay, sorry. The groups are probably captains. Maybe majors. I don't know. Okay, a captain or a major. Maybe a captain will be your XO and the major would be the CO of the groups. Then the wing leaders should be first lieutenants. First lieutenants are the wing leaders, and then the individual pilots will be lieutenants. So, and other ships will be lieutenants. So the lieutenants are individual ship. That's all they have to worry about is themselves. Their next step up would be the first lieutenant. He'd be the wing leader. And then the captain and the majors would be in the groups. And then the colonels and the lieutenant colonels would be in the administration. Okay, so where do these enlisted ranks come in? Okay, we're troopers and things like that. Well, the trooper, to be honest, the trooper, you're really just a pledge. You're just a, what's the word I'm looking for? You're a recruit. You're on probation. You're just in the unit until we can decide if we like you or not, and whether or not we're going to advance you in the unit or not. Okay. As soon as we decide we're going to advance you, you will jump from enlisted all the way to lieutenant. Okay, if you have your own ship. If you don't have your own ship, you will be enlisted. If you are, okay, you'll be one of the corporal, sergeants, what have you. I might do something like, and I'm just spitballing here, and you guys can give me some feedback. We might have a training program that we might require certain pilots to accomplish or do a certain list of goals and classes, like maybe 5 or 6 of them, maybe exactly 5, and then as you finish each one of them, you get a promotion as an enlisted. So you might go from trooper to corporal to sergeant to gunnery sergeant, and then when you finish your training, you become a lieutenant. And that way I can kind of see that you finished certain classes and that you're moving forward in our training program. My other unit, our parent unit, does that to weed out guys that aren't really dedicated or aren't really into the unit or whatever. They just joined because they thought it was cool to be in a group, but they don't really want to participate in the unit or whatever. And we don't want that in the unit. We're going to kick those guys. Okay, and that trial period of your being in NCO enlisted period before you're actually granted your officer, as soon as you become a lieutenant, you're not considered an officer in the unit, you're just considered a lieutenant. To be an officer, you're going to have to be a wing leader or above. Okay, because remember, in Star Citizen itself, there's only like 5 ranks. I put one down as commander, I put one down as XO, I put one down as captain, and that's basically an officer. And then I put one down as lieutenant, and then enlisted or something like that. NCO, and then trooper, I think is what I got. So I don't know how they're going to do that. That seems kind of lame. If you go to the engine site, I'll have a tag for every single rank that you earn, and you'll see it. Okay, having said that, so everybody's going to be a lieutenant or above, and depending on if you take positions or not, you're going to receive higher rankings. Okay, like first lieutenant or captain or major or whatever. except for ship captains. Okay, and then when I say ship captain, I mean a ship that has more than 2 crew. If you have a Gladiator, let's say, those are still 2 lieutenants. Okay, don't worry about it. That's just you and your backseat driver. But if you've got a crew like a Constellation and you've got like 4 guys on that ship, or even more than that, then you're considered a ship captain, and your rank will be one higher than everybody else in your group. But it'll be one higher than like a single seat fighter. So let's say you're a Hornet pilot and you're a lieutenant. Okay, great. But if you're a Constellation pilot and you've got a bunch of crew on your ship, you're probably going to be a first lieutenant. Okay, and then your crew are all going to be either NPCs or other players, and it doesn't matter. Okay, and your NPCs will always be considered enlisted. Always. Okay, we're never going to have an NPC that is an officer. Can't. I mean, what kind of decisions can he make? Okay, so NPCs are going to be our enlisted. Okay, they're the ones that are going to follow all of our orders that we're always going to be giving them, because that's what NPCs do, right? They always listen to everything you tell them to do. Maybe not. They might throw in a wrench. Who knows? But if you're like a ship captain that has a large number of crew on it, you're going to be a first lieutenant. Okay, big ships, let's say like an Idris or something, you might even be a captain. Okay, that still needs to be worked out, but I'm trying to give you an idea of how the ranks will work. Okay, all right, well, this video was mainly for the unit, the Royal Aerospace Squadron. If you're another person watching this video and you want to join the Royal Aerospace Squadron because you think what we're doing here is awesome, come visit us at 1ras.engine.com, or find us on the RSI website under 1RAS. All right, so thanks for coming out and checking out this video, and I'll see you all in the verse.